Facebook at the top.
I did the Facebook. She's doing YouTube.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. We're live! Yay!
Yay!
Progress.
See how long this lasts. Every week there's something new.
Yep, of course.
All right. I'm just going to pull up the Facebook page too so I can monitor that. Actually, should be able to move this up.
All right, I'm going to switch back to my other microphone. Tell me if it's too loud.
Remove from
Okay,
Spotlight.
switch to the other one. Is it still really loud?
I don't know. It's really weird. I can't add the live.
Hello?
Hmm.
Can everybody hear me? No?
Yep. Yes.
Is it too loud?
No, now you're a bit quiet.
What the heck?
Sorry. I'm really being nitpicky with you, Sam. I'm sorry. How do I sound? I never asked you guys how I sound. Do I sound okay?
Yeah. You sound good.
Coolio.
Okay, then let me check my audio settings here.
Lena, what happened to your head?
I don't know. Something's been gnawing at me all day.
Gosh, man, your head must be pounding. All right. So we're all kind of just getting settled in, letting people get the notifications. La la la. It was a tough day today for all of us. It wasn't that tough for me. I'm sorry. I was just lazy.
It was just a long week. Like,
Yeah.
Just a lot of stuff this week.
I'm still too quiet. Why are you so quiet, microphone?
You were great before.
What is happening?
What changed?
Nothing. Should I switch
Are you
back?
on your laptop? Are you on Wi-Fi?
I'm on the... Yeah, I don't have Ethernet in this room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that might be a problem. That might be why.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to this then. I'm just gonna have microphones, guys. It's fine.
Okay.
She's a pro.
Yeah. All right. I'm just doing a couple more sharing. Sharing.
Okay. I'm not that quiet anymore, right? I'm good, guys? Okay.
Yes.
People are posting
that's
on
correct.
YouTube. You're a little quiet, Sam. I'm like, dang it.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
All right. Cool. Okay, so it's working on Twitch so far. Okay, so we've got viewers on YouTube. Hi, guys. Are you doing it on ThermoCosplay yet? Actually, I haven't set up the CosTalk channel yet. Cool. I'm gonna too, so I can look at all three of them.
Okay. All right.
All three channels. Cool. All right. So,
I love stream lag. Stream lag.
hello, everyone. We can start with introductions. I know you probably know this already, but people that are going to watch this later won't. Ah! No, my sweater's still in view. Go
I
on.
am
Okay,
Sam,
go ahead,
aka
start. Yeah.
Gwynage, your evil overlord. Hi.
That's it? That's your intro?
The end.
Okay. Lena?
Hi, I'm Lena. I'm Sam's sidekick. That's Thermo sidekick. Really, I just do everything under ThermoCosplay, but distinctions had to be made at some point, so there we go.
Yay, Liz?
Hi, I'm Liz from Ambrose Cosplay. I'm cosplaying myself tonight because I'm boring, but that's okay. Next week, be a little more exciting.
Awesome.
I
Sounds
can't
good.
wear that hood, guys.
Hey,
It's just
guys.
like, no.
I know, I was thinking, I'm gonna get really hot in this. Hey guys, I'm Jessica, Jinx Cosplay. I've been cosplaying since 2001. Hi, Ashley, thanks for joining. So we are, I know today is about organizing your cosplay, and I'm not showing my cosplay room behind me because I'm moving. So things are just everywhere, and I would be hypocritical if I showed you my room on organizing cosplay. I swear, it looks better than it normally does. But Sam also loves to organize. So Sam, let's get started.
Of course, organization's my game. I love it. It makes me happy in life.
So I'm always surprised when I go into Sam's room because look at it.
Yeah, and I have 2 closets, and the one wardrobe, as it were, it's a standalone wardrobe, is mostly empty now. There are so many different ways to organize your cosplay. One of the biggest problems people complain about is lack of space. And while that is definitely like being caught between a rock and a hard place, it sucks. It doesn't mean that you don't have unused space still, because some people don't think about creative ways to store objects. For instance, there are these cube organizers that they sell, and these cube organizers take up a very minimal amount of space. You can stack them, or you can order them in all different. This one only has 6, but I've seen them all the way up to like 12 and 16. And you can put just about anything in there. Mine is sparks.
And they're pretty universal in
Yeah.
universal in size, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this one was only like,
She looks frozen.
I think $30.
Sam's
no.
frozen.
I think
Okay. All right.
she's very confused.
Yeah.
Am I back?
There you go.
There you are. Hi. Welcome back. We lost you there in the Gwenosphere.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back, so that's good. I might have to tell my husband to stop using the internet, because I think he's playing games and using the internet.
Too much bandwidth.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Anyways, there's all different kinds of ways. Using storage bins, using cube organizers. I have a bench down here that I sit on. I can pull it out. This is my bench. This bench opens up, and I have fabric inside of it. And you can it can carry up to 250 pounds worth of weight to sit on it without it collapsing. So that's pretty good, because what you could do is you could have a bench that you store things in, and then you could put stuff on top of that bench.
Yeah, because as you can see, Sam's room is quite small. Not small, but it's like, it's like, what's the square footage of your room?
12
You know?
by 16?
I think it's smaller than that.
Oh, no,
I'm
wait,
pretty
wait,
sure
wait.
It's not 12 by 16.
12, 10 by 12? 10 by 12. Something like that.
Maybe, yeah. Because I know when we all are in there, it's like a little bit tight. So you've done an amazing job, especially keeping it clean. I'm pretty bad at that. And I like Liz's room too. Like,
Also bad at that.
yeah, look at your room. Oh my God, all of
It's
those
so
surgery
organized.
tools. So talk about how you organize your sewing stuff, Liz. That's amazing.
So I also have a very small office. So I really have to make use of the space that I have. So I kind of have, my husband has been a huge help in this. He installed like kind of a countertop that goes along the wall of my room, and I have my computer on it. I have the sewing machine, the serger on it, and then as you guys can kind of see, a lot of my supplies are on racks. So like behind me, I have all of my serger threads are on a rack.
It's beautiful.
Things that are really difficult to store, we have up on the wall here. So
Her head display.
Yeah,
Well,
we'll talk
other-
about that in a sec. Yeah.
other ways that are easy to store, I just bag them up gently how you would normally do, and then those bags get organized into, I have like a set of drawers that I organize them by like light colored wigs, dark colored wigs, and multicolored wigs. But the ones that are they're really heavily styled, I have them up on the wig wall.
And see, I want to make a good point. For your wall, the way that you've got it built, you've got like PVC tubes and wood. So if you're doing...
Dan, we lost you again.
Bam!
Hello? Hello? Hello?
She's gonna have to.
Oh no.
Hello?
Okay, I want to talk about your wig wall, Liz. So it looks like it's pretty easy to make. Looks like it was like a 2x4 or whatever that is, and then some PVC pipe,
That's exactly it.
and then styrofoam wig heads.
Yep, that's all. It's
So-
that simple.
So when you organizing doesn't have to be expensive. It can be. I mean, if you want to if you have the budget, like go to the Container Store and go crazy. But a lot of times as cosplayers, we want to spend our money on our cosplay supplies. So how long did it take you think, to make that wig rack?
Well, I didn't make it at all. My husband made it. It did not take him very long at all. It was pretty simple. And he also made my other thread racks too, which I have over here. I'm trying to
I've been
So
seeing
look
that.
for-
Yeah, I've been eyeing that.
yeah, so here are my regular sewing thread racks. And then I have like all of my frequently used supplies I have in labeled drawers here.
Yeah.
So I can easily find, if I'm looking for elastic, I have all my elastic in the elastic drawer. And I just have like drawers and bins everywhere, and try to make good use of them. It's something that I saw earlier that I haven't tried myself, but I want to, is did you guys know that they make like, duct tape, like the Duck brand duct tape? They make these little QR code stickers.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Like stick them on your bin, and then you like on the QR code, like you put whatever's in the bin, and then all you have to do with your phone is like scan it, and it'll be like all of your Wonder Woman stuff is in this bin. And I feel like I haven't tried it, but that sounds super helpful, especially when you start accumulating a lot of cosplay stuff. If you keep like all of your props in one bin, it's good to know, well, what props are in this one.
So much space. I have one of those standing ones. So, when I move house, I'm going to put everything on the wall just like you did. But yeah, when you have limited counter space, you want to make sure that everything goes up on the wall. So that's really beautiful.
Machines take up so much space too.
Yeah.
Like, I've got 4 machines in this room. I have an embroidery machine, a sewing machine, a serger, and then a Cricut.
Wow.
And up a lot of space. Like that takes up almost like the entirety of all the surface that I have in here.
Yeah, so I'm on my computer, and then I've got a serger, a sewing machine, and then we have a lot of open space, and then the Cricut is on a wow, nice.
Someone mute their mic.
Here, I can do it. So I can show a little bit of what mine looks like, but then I have some pictures that I want to share. So I'm just gonna pop in to check her YouTube channel. Oh, is our stream still okay? Chris says RIP stream, but I think we're still on YouTube. Maybe he meant Sam's. Oh, there's Sam. Amber says hi Amber. Hi. King Cart Photography. Hi.
Oh, we muted you, Sam.
Oh,
because we could hear you and Lawrence talking.
Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah,
Cool.
Okay, so I'm back, and the stream's working. I still show it.
I
was
think
just
so.
gone because I'm angry at my internet. We're purchasing like an 80-foot Ethernet cable so I can get connected to the...
Cool. You can do like a wireless thing. Like I have this wire.
Right. Oh, there we go.
I have this wireless thing. It's like, I can't show it. Let me see.
Yeah, I have a Wi-Fi booster I might have to hook you up with.
Oh, no,
that I
we
don't
already
use
have
anymore,
that.
but I had at my old place.
We have a Wi-Fi booster. I
Okay.
always choose the room that's the Faraday cage.
So I'm gonna take down my background real quick. How do I take it down? Wait. Oh, here, none. Okay. So my place is a mess. I know it looks bad, but I have these 2 shelves. I actually bought them from Lena. These bookshelves. That's the top of my computer. And then I obviously have a folding table in my back, and oh my gosh, there's tables. Oh, it's such a mess, guys. Like, it's such a mess. And then I have this little folding ironing board that we throw on the tabletop. So I actually am lucky, and I'm unlucky now because I'm losing it, but I use my single car garage as my cosplay room. So it's pretty big, but AC isn't great here. But anyway, when we talk about like maximizing your space, like I had the plan to put shelves all up around my walls, but because we were going to be moving, I didn't want to do that. So I ended up with bookcases instead. So there's ways around it. You definitely can and you can buy them new. They're not that expensive at Walmart, but you can also buy them used. So you can check Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. I bought these from Lena when she was moving out of her apartment. So, you can always make good use of it. And then what I do is I use those shoe boxes, those plastic shoe boxes. I'm going to share my screen here in a second, guys. Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me bring it up.
Oh, real quick, can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Good. I was talking about Liz's wig wall. For individuals who have large cosplay builds, you can do that with a 2x4, and you can adjust the sizing of your PVC, and you essentially have ways to display your giant foam builds.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. Yeah, because those take up a lot of floor space.
Yeah, I would say using wall space as much as you can. And Jessica brought up a really good point too. So I store things out in the garage as well. I would say most of my scrap fabric and extra fabric is out in the garage of my house. But I think, if you live in a desert like we do, or any place that has crazy weather, you do have to think about, what are you storing out where it's not air conditioned? Because there are certain things that it wouldn't make sense.
The time, like fabrics, maybe some tools that you can store somewhere else. So that's definitely an efficient way as well to maximize your space. So here I'm going to share a couple pictures. Let's see. So these are those, like the smaller ones you can see are the plastic shoe boxes. You can buy them in like packs of 10 at Walmart. I actually been buying them at Goodwill. Like they'll sell a bunch of them for like $1 or $2. And I've labeled them all with, you know, what's inside. The bigger ones I've got at the dollar store, and those still also fit in the shelf as well. And I put like the heavier stuff in the bottom. So these are super, super handy because I have way too many supplies. Like I really have way too many. So if I need something, I just pull out the box, you know, take what I need, put the box back. And it's really, really, really convenient that way. So if you have a lot of materials like I do, you know, it really makes sense to put them in boxes, group them together, and you know, then you can see how much you actually have, and you're like, whoa, this is too much.
And that's what I do for my costumes too.
I
put my costumes in basically bins that are much larger than that, but flatter, so I can just keep storing them. You can put them like underneath couches, underneath desks. You can put them in all different places.
Yeah, so I actually do this as well with my costumes. These aren't labeled because this is before they were labeled. But so what I do with costumes is this is an IKEA wardrobe. So I put like, you know, the more delicate ones that I can hang in the dress bags, as you can see. So everything that is together in the dress bag, and then things like accessories and stuff that don't fit in the dress bag, I then put in the little shoe boxes. Like I have shoes, you know, some accessories, and these are labeled now, like, and then of course bigger shoes down at the bottom.
Yeah, and for shoes, there's actually a new shoe rack thing that's called what they call a double decker, and it just looks like this weird little like slidey wedge thing, and you can put 2 pairs of shoes, and they only take up 1 spot, and it saves so much room.
Yeah, for sure. So I actually have one here with me right now. So this is my Moana. I might have to turn off my background. Oh no, there's my Moana.
Your Moana keeps disappearing.
Yeah, let me turn off my background. Sorry, guys. So this is Moana, and I've got like the skirt, the grass skirts in here. These I got on Amazon.
Apparently, someone on YouTube said you could also just go buy a second house.
Yeah, good idea. Forget this whole episode.
We'll all go in on a second house together. Okay, we'll all rent it together, and we'll just store our cosplay there.
And you're on the right track, exactly. So, and then I even have like my flower crown in here at the bottom too. So that's all the stuff that I can hang. And then in the little plasticky shoebox thing, I actually have the shoes. It says Moana. I think it's backwards. And then in here I have, you know, the top, and then her necklace, the wrap, and the shoes. There we go. Shoes and stuff. So that's kind of how I organize it. And it's been working out really, really well for me. Sam, like you said, you do a similar thing. You can also do them in the bigger bins too, if you don't have like hanging space.
Yeah, I can open this and show people. I'll just run and
sure.
go. Yeah,
go ahead. So as she's walking, this is Sam walking backwards towards her wardrobe, as you can see. So that's her built-in closet, obviously. Okay, so I'll have to narrate. So here is one large tub full of 25 costumes.
They're work in progress supplies.
Oh, and we can see that. So her work in progress stack, very, very good.
They're always here.
And that's pretty closets. Yeah. Oh, she's frozen in time again. That's pretty standard in closets. I mean, if you have just a regular closet in your house, you know, you really want to make the most of it. You can probably even add shelves to the top, because I know a lot of houses just standard have like the one shelf above the hanging rack.
Yeah, it looks like she has a wardrobe like you do, and I saw some garment bags in there too.
Yeah,
like
and those are pretty affordable as well in IKEA. You can probably buy them secondhand. People are selling that stuff all the time.
You have like a white costume. I would highly recommend you put it in a garment bag no matter what it is, just because some fabrics over time, say you have a lot of costumes, they're pressed up against each other hanging in your closet. If I have like a white costume next to anything that has dye on it, it's possible that dye is going to rub off onto the white over
the one that Sam has, but that one's probably going to cost you $100-200 if you get it new, if not more. I think I got this thing for $25 or something like that.
And they sell them everywhere, don't they?
Like Lowe's is, I believe, where I bought it from. Lowe's or Home Depot, randomly. I think it was really more intended for, stick it in the garage where no one can see it because it's not super attractive. But it worked really great for storage space, especially when I got one of those hanging things that has the cubes. So I was able to hang a bunch of things, and then with the cubes, I was able to put shoes in along the side.
That's a good point, actually. Hanging cubes are really great as well, especially, and also like the hanging, anything that like hangs and organizes, like those ones with the pockets, those, I'm talking about, like the sheets with the pockets, great for like small accessories. Even for your crafts, you can hang it up on the wall as well, and use that for anything that you use constantly, like, glues or anything like that. That's great to have it right there and handy. Sam, you back?
Yes.
Yay!
I got into a different version of my Wi-Fi. It should be a little bit more stable, and we disconnected anything we could think of that was connected.
Ah, I see. Okay, I've got cosplay dog here.
Oh yeah. So you can also use the ceiling racks that you get in for garages for like bikes and stuff. For cosplay.
Yeah.
I can take on a trip, my turn to go on a little adventure.
Leah's going on an adventure. Are you going to your loft?
I'm gonna go get a loft here in a second, but first
she's gonna go get a fluffy, I think. Let's see. King Carter says if you have tall ceilings. Oh, that's what she said. Okay.
Shoe racks.
Shoe racks, like we were talking about. Mind you, not very in focus, but these are such a nice space
Can you
saver.
Take it?
But yeah, I'll go up to my loft. You guys can keep chatting.
Yeah, and it's obviously like going to be different, like what storage you need based on like what costumes you build, because if you're just building fabric costumes, it's a lot easier to fold them or roll them or use a vacuum seal bag and flatten them out, whereas if you're doing foam builds, it's a little bit more difficult to store them, so you'll want to look at more like PVC tubes for hanging, or you want to look at bike racks or large storage solutions that you'd find in garages, or large storage solutions that you'd find honestly for like entertainment centers actually usually have some big things that you can put on them because TVs are heavy, and you can use stuff like that to store large foam.
I have Wonder Woman armor takes up one whole large bin on its own just so that it maintains its shape and like the paint doesn't get chipped or anything. Like I want it safe.
Well, and that's another thing too. If you're going to start building and you have space concerns, consider you're breaking your armor down via like magnets or Velcro so that it is something you can lay flat. Like keep the curved parts obviously a bit, but like if you're going to just wrap something around yourself and then Velcro it, make it in sections so that you don't have to worry about trying to figure out where to store this huge piece.
That's a good point, actually, because we get a little bit into. I do a lot of that too. Is like when I make things, I think about storability as well. So Sam makes a good point. Some people will make, oh my God, I'm my first armor, and then here's this big giant one piece of armor, and they're like, oh, I guess it's gonna stand in the corner of my living room, Right. So definitely, if Liz.
Oh, if you have like a big, huge prop piece though that you're like really proud of, hang that up like a
on
decoration.
the wall. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, that's true for sure.
Make you see those in video games. You always see the little mounts where your weapons are on the wall. Do the same thing.
Yeah, that's definitely what I want to do.
Oh yeah.
And those should be pretty easy as well.
I'm gonna showcase before I head back downstairs to my comfy couch. So just for reference, I don't know if my camera will even zoom out far enough. So that mannequin is the same size that I am, which should give you an idea that this space is very tiny. Like that space, that corner right there, that's a wall. Like that's, I don't know, I think I measured it out to be 3 feet. And I have all these little storage cubes. And the thing I like about them is because they pull out rather than stacking on top of each other, like these actually, using the wrong hand. These actually pull out.
Those are cool.
Like that. So I don't have to unstack one, unstack the next one, unstack the next one, so on and so forth. I can just get at all of them really easy, and because they're clear, I can see what's in them. I try to put 1 to 2 cosplays in there, but like keep all of one cosplay in one thing. Anybody that knows my Devil's a part-timer though knows this is a bunch of lies because that's scattered around a bunch of them. So I need to reorganize them again. But what I've been finding myself doing is saying, okay, I have a limited amount of space. If I'm going to make a new cosplay, I'm going to store the supplies that I'm going to use to make that cosplay in the place that I plan on it living. So like when I go out and I buy all my supplies, I just put it there because if I don't have space for the supplies for it, I'm not going to have space for that cosplay. So I need to make more space. And then just like you guys have, I have these little teal cubes, and this is where all my like extra kind of crafting stuff ends up, you know, like my heat gun and, you know, my tools and all that kind of stuff is a mix between there and a bag that I have for all of my like tools, like, you know, my screwdriver and all that kind of stuff. Some of my stuff's in there too, but.
So that's kind of a good view of like a much smaller space because you live in a one bedroom apartment, right?
Yeah, it's a 1-bedroom apartment with a loft. So this is my teeny tiny little loft.
Yeah, and I live in a much bigger home, but
and this has to be my home office too. So
my stuff's not allowed to leave my room.
And it never, like, her house is like spotless. Whenever they were like, "Is this a cosplay?"
Spotless. It's a little messy.
I like touch the floor and like. Just kidding.
Like Lena, I really like that tip about storing it where you plan on storing the finished thing in the future.
Yeah.
Really smart. I have never done that in my life.
So, and that's the thing too, if you store your project materials together, you won't accidentally use them on something else and then go, wait, I thought I bought this for something, and you did, but you used it on something else.
Or you won't lose it in the stacks of
ever.
No?
How could you accuse me of that?
Never?
I have never done
Yeah, I didn't used to do that, but I started doing it when I moved to my new apartment that's a smaller space. Just to, you know, sort of force myself to, like, before you can even make the cosplay, where does the cosplay go?
Well, and if you're running out of space, I mean, I feel like that's sort of a natural sign to do like a cosplay clean out, for example. Like find some old costumes that you're not interested in wearing anymore and sell them as starters to people who want to get into cosplay.
Yeah, I actually have an entire gray bin of old costumes. One bin is dedicated to costumes I refuse to get rid of because I spent so much time on them and they have like a good value to me, and also I like to display them when I'm a guest at events. And then the other is for when eventually this all ends. Anybody want a free costume? I literally don't even want to sell them. I'm like, just take it off my hands.
When this ends? What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Have
when it ends? It's never gonna end. I'm gonna cosplay to my grave.
No, I'm talking about the madness of me not being able to.
Oh, I thought you meant like
I can't meet people, and so like I can't be like, does this fit you? I don't know, because I can't see you right now. It's not safe.
I thought you meant when you're done cosplaying. I was like, what?
I'm probably gonna be like that little 9-year-old lady in Wonder Woman, and be like,
yeah.
When fake boobs get all saggy, that's when.
Then I gotta buy another pair.
Yeah, you just buy another one and keep going.
That's true.
You know what's funny is so just this is random off topic, but we talked about fake boobs. The drag queen boobs that I have are expected to last 15 to 20 years as long as I take care of them.
Wow. And you don't store it in the garage in Phoenix, right?
Well, we don't have, like, the dry heat's actually not bad for it because silicone usually conditions pretty self-conditioned. And so there's nothing that's going to really, like, it has more problems with growing mold on it in, like, very wet areas. And I'm like, well, it's not a problem here.
Oh, okay. That's good. What's it made out of?
It's silicone.
Okay.
It's pure silicone, silicone rubber. And it is filled with polyfill and, like, a little bit of, like, fabric beads. So it's really lightweight. Well, as lightweight as, you know, E-cup boobs can get.
As boobs can be, yeah. Oh, dear. We'll have to talk about that one day. Oh, we're going to do when we do our gender bend, maybe.
That'll be in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So I wanted to mention something about the cubes because the cube shelves are super popular, right? Everybody has them. Everybody knows what they are. They're pretty universal. You can buy a shelf. You can pretty much buy a shelf in one place and then buy the cubes in another place. They're also really great for storing wigs. And this is big for like princess party companies that have a lot of heavily styled wigs. If you have the space, if you have the space and you want to just put it up on a shelf where you can actually easily access them, then get one of these cube organizers. You can fit like 1 to 2 like wig heads in a space, or you can just put one in the box. And it's also really good because it should keep dust away from them. Oh, look at all that stuff in there. So definitely if you're storing wigs, you want to put like a cover. Like in Phoenix, it's really dusty. It doesn't matter like if you never leave the house, like dust still gets in here somehow. So when you store your wigs also, I usually put like plastic bags over mine that are styled and, put out. But that was my dream, was to have like a 16 cube organizer and store all my wigs on there like one day. One day.
Yeah, I use the cube organizer to store like my paints and my sewing materials, and all my sewing materials are broken up into bags. And also my Sharpies. I have one of those like pencil boxes, and I have 2 of them now because that's how many Sharpies and drawing implements I have.
Sharpies. Wow, that is a lot of Sharpies.
I have about 100 Sharpies.
Wow, that is a lot. Although don't tell me, because I probably have like 100 zippers, and that's useless until you use them.
Before we get too far away from it, do we have an agenda item for today about talking about what we do with costumes that we're not using anymore?
Yes.
Cool. Then
So,
I will not get into that too deep.
For costumes that you aren't using anymore, there are a few options. Okay. You could take them and, like a little sleeping bag, roll them up. If they're fabric, don't do that if they're foam. I mean, if you're not going to wear them again, go ahead. Actually, I'll talk about foam in a second. But if they're fabric, roll them up like a little sleeping bag and put them inside like a garment bag or like a large liter-sized plastic bag, and store it inside like a big plastic bin or a drawer. If you think in the future you want to wear it again and you're just like, I'm taking a break for a year with this, that's fine. If you don't want to do that, then honestly, go onto Facebook, go to Cosplay Sells 2.0, secondhand cosplay sales. There are so many groups of people thirsting for secondhand cosplay. And you can make money.
For sure. And like, you can do eBay as well. People are buying stuff on eBay. You can do trades. A lot of people, because obviously there are a lot of young cosplayers as well that can't don't have a job or whatever, and a lot of people are willing to do trades. So if you're open to trades and hey, I just want something new, that's a really good idea too.
There's also, at most conventions, they have like at night they have like a little cosplay like thrift shop, or like you can just rent a space for like 10 to 15 bucks and be like, here, have it. What do you want? And vendors have to have like sales licenses. If you're doing a little closet, they don't care. They're just like, just sell it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like a garage sale, or
that's
kind of
exactly
like a flea
what
market.
It is. Yeah, it's a geek garage sale.
Yeah, I found some really cool stuff there too, and you'll find a variety of stuff. It's not just cosplay. It's anything really in the fandoms, anything that falls within the genre of the convention. But a lot of people do sell their cosplays or wigs or accessories stuff there.
Yeah. Now, if you really like a part of the costume, repurpose it. Use that fabric for something else. You can also recycle the fabric, so you can use it in another cosplay. Now, if you don't want to sell it, and you don't want to recycle it, and you don't want to keep it, you can take it to H&M, and they will recycle it for you.
They do a textile recycle, and they give you a discount too, like per plastic baggie, I think.
Yeah, they don't even care if it's just scraps. Like, they will take your fabric.
Or old underwear.
Yeah, anything. They take, because they have a special place that they send it to, and they recycle. I mean, this is, it costs some money to do this, but they want to be so economically friendly, like eco-friendly, which is great that they do this. And they're, with what's going on with COVID-19, they're actually, from what I understand, working on a program for you to ship those textiles to them as well. So we'll see what happens.
I just want to say hi to Sean. Hi, Sean, and Ashley. Ashley Martinez is with us. Hi, Ashley.
Hi. Yes,
said hi.
Hello to everybody on YouTube. I think we've got Amber and Victoria, and I think that's Chris. And yeah, I think
thanks
that's all
for joining,
of you.
guys.
I have one contact that's shifted, so my world is a little bit red. So I'm sorry if I missed you.
I find it really difficult to repurpose. So I have never sold a cosplay. I have a billion, and some I've grown out of and are just in storage. But I find it very hard because I make about 95% of my costumes. So I find it difficult to let go. And I've just recently started selling stuff. And then when you said, Sam, to repurpose stuff, I mean, that's brilliant. But I can't do it. I'm like, no, I want this costume to be.
I use old cosplay too. Like, if I really liked how it fit, I will break it up at the seams and mark it and say, this is my pattern now.
Yeah.
And I put it in my pattern bin.
And depending, another thing I've done with a lot of my costumes, because I'm very critical of my own craftsmanship, so I feel like a little weird selling them. I'm like, this is gonna fall apart if you sneeze on it wrong. I don't know if I can really sell this. I'm gonna be my own worst critic. But For whatever reason, I seem to have a lot of like pseudo nieces and nephews, like, you know, friends, basically friends of mine that have kids. Especially, I'm officially of an age where I have friends that have teenage kids. Oh God.
Yeah.
But
I think all of us almost.
and like my friends' sisters, kids. I know that's like really far seemingly removed, but I've met them before, and so I found for some of my costumes that I feel weird about maybe selling to somebody because it's like, ugh. A lot of them like they have no money to buy a costume. So if I'm just like, hey, surprise, thank you for following our page, or thank you for like supporting me doing cosplay stuff, like I'm gonna give you my old costume, and they freak out. They are so excited for like my worst costumes, and I almost feel bad, but they're so excited. I'm yeah.
Well, and there's
That's
groups
awesome.
that accept cosplay, like costume donations too, right? So like if you just mark the size, you say what it includes, and you can give it to like a boys and girls club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, you know, it's a good point as well. Is if you're cleaning out your cosplay closet, it's time to reorganize. You can donate things to the local theater, which is exactly what Lena and Sam did when I was in a production at South Mountain Community College, which we were so grateful for. We used like half of our wardrobe, I think, came from that. So also think about that as well, that, you know, especially high schools, because obviously they have very low budgets. So if you do have stuff you want to get rid of, you're kind of iffy about selling them, I mean, just put it all in a box and give it to the theater. Even if it's like a half a costume or something that's not finished, they can still use it for something.
They can use it for
fabric.
draping in a background.
Yeah, they can use it for anything. So don't feel like, oh, I'm not going to give them this, like half a feather boa. I don't know. Just give it to them, and they'll get rid of what they don't need and then keep what they want. So that's also a great way to organize. Oh, before we keep going, I'm going to say hello to some other people. Hannah, hi Hannah. Sean says he's figured I would pop in while I'm still 39. So happy early birthday. I'm sure you have friends that have children that are also teenagers. Vic and Brenna, hi guys. Thank you so much for joining.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
So we talked a lot about physical space. There's another thing that most cosplayers forget about when it comes to costumes is keeping a list of their costumes and figuring out what they actually have, because I've bought costumes where I've made them and I forgot to add them to my list, and all of a sudden I go into storage thinking I had more storage, and I'm like, what is going on? So I suggest keeping like a Google Doc or an Excel spreadsheet, or I even put it on my website. I have a portfolio on my website, and I have a portfolio that's like in my cosplay closet, and then I have one at the bottom that says retired or sold, and it's huge.
I always have to refer back to my website. I'm like, what cosplays do I have? And I have to look at my website and like, okay, I have those cosplays.
This is why I like keeping a Google Doc list too, and I even have a written list in here if like I need to reference something fast.
Sam's super digitally organized. Like, you have no idea, guys.
Yeah. I also have like an app for that, so.
Well, so I use the CosPlanner app for when I'm planning and actually doing it, because you can keep track of how much time you spend on certain
creating cosplays, yeah.
But then, you know, I use that app. So, like, for example, I might reuse shoes for different cosplays. So I might not list, you know, the same pair of boots twice on the CosPlanner app, because I know, oh, I already have a pair of brown boots. I'm just going to use those again. I do have a digital document that has essentially a packing list for all of my costumes. Let's say I were packing it up to go to a con tomorrow, right? I would list every single thing I would need for that costume. And this is just my personal preference. I always start from closest to the skin out. So like, if you're gonna wear a bra with this one, write down that you need a bra. Like, how many people have shown up to the convention and they've forgotten a critical part of their costume?
Underwear?
I did.
I
never
people.
need. Never.
I have seen too many spandex-clad gentlemen and their junk.
Oh gosh.
Like,
Well, that is a good point, though. Is
include a dance belt.
yeah.
Some costumes do need like specific color undergarments, though. Like if you're wearing a completely white outfit and you forget to bring anything other than dark undergarments, it's gonna show right through. So yeah.
So yeah, keep a list of like specifically what are all of the things that you're gonna need with this costume, and then when it comes time for the con, follow that list and pack exactly.
If you go to cosplaytutorial.com, they actually have a cosplay packing list that you can like click boxes on, and you can use that packing list to just generate a list of costumes that you own and what is included in them, because it's built for that, and then you just save it as a PDF to your computer.
That's a good idea. That's amazing, guys. I have to like, sometimes I get double things, like double shoes. I'm like, oh, I already bought shoes for this cosplay. So I'm not that great in organizing.
Like, I have 2 costumes out right now because I tore through both soles of my white shoes that I use for Nora, Valkyrie, and Chun-Li. And I've decided I'm going to invest in a better pair, but they're like $85, so I'm waiting.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. But also, when we talk about digital organizing, don't forget about your pictures. I'm huge about organizing my pictures. Like, I have an external hard drive. I have files for everything. Within those files, like, so if I have a Moana file, then I have work in progress pictures, professional pictures, or group pictures, and selfies and videos. So I keep everything organized. It helps with your social media as well, because we talked about social media last week. So if that's something important to you, is your social media, keeping your photos and your content organized is going to help you in the long run, especially during times like this where there's not much to do and we run out of content. So that's something that's important too. Don't just dump them all in folders, really take the time to organize them, especially if you paid for a photo shoot. If you paid for a photo shoot, you want to make sure that you use those photos to your advantage, use them as much as you can, keeping them organized.
Yeah, and if you don't have like the availability on, say, your phone or your computer or your laptop, you can use Google Photos, you can use Mega NZ. There are plenty of cloud storage solutions. Just please.
Dropbox is free as well.
I love Dropbox.
Yeah. Oh, Sam doesn't seem to like Dropbox.
They have security problems. They've had breaches. I don't like Dropbox.
I don't know if anyone will. I don't know if I'll care if anyone steals my cosplay photo.
This is the thing. I'm an IT security analyst by day, guys. So I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive on programs. You don't have to listen to me. I read the privacy policy of every site I visit. So. Yes.
Good. Yeah. We just send everything to Sam. Sam, is this good? Should we use it? Okay. I was like, when Zoom went through obviously everyone's using Zoom, right? When this pandemic started. And there were all these reports of people like hacking into meetings, which I knew they really weren't. And I was like, Sam, are we good with Zoom? She's like, yeah, I checked it.
Yeah, they weren't hacking into meetings. They were using the person's email. The email was compromised, not the meeting.
Also, the other thing that they can do is randomly pick numbers to throw at the end of the Zoom meeting. So just guess what a Zoom meeting is going to be and toss it in there. And if your meeting doesn't have a password and you don't have a waiting room, they can pop right in. But as long as you put a password on your meeting and or have a waiting room, it's very easy to defeat. To defeat the bad people.
They've patched it too to make it difficult for them to guess those numbers now as well. Like it has to do with really complicated hashing things that we're just not going to get into for you guys.
That's a different kind of podcast.
That's another episode.
Lena and I both do IT work. We're new.
Does anybody have any questions about like how to organize specific things that maybe we troubleshoot solutions right now?
Oh, and I wanted to share.
And let's give them like 30 seconds to answer because there is like a little bit of lag. I'm watching on YouTube occasionally. There is like 30 seconds lag.
So I wanted to share something back to our cosplay room that I didn't share before. So let me just pull this up because we talked about fabrics, and fabric is one of the hardest things to store. And there's a bunch of different ways to do it. So right now I just store mine in these little plastic bins, and I can move them around. And if I need a specific fabric, I know there's solids or there's prints or there's cottons or whatever. So this is how I do my fabric. I've heard of a really great way people use cardboard and wrap them kind of like you do in the stores. You do that, Sam? Like that's really what I want to do, but I just haven't gotten to it. But I think that's a really great way to organize them, especially. And maybe, you can put those in boxes and then you can use your QR code to be like.
You can also use short dowel rods and just roll it onto the rod and then just lay it down. Yeah, because I store all my fabric in one of my benches, and so I just make sure everything's the same length as that, and I just start. All of my cardboard's gone right now, so thankfully I have some to recycle, and I can just claim some pieces and reorganize.
Okay, when I move, guys, then come to me, and I'll have tons of cardboard for you, and then we'll all just have the same kind of like fabric organization.
We'll have a fabric organization party.
Oh my God, we'll have a fabric folding party! Oh my God!
And we can drink tea.
Oh my gosh. And then I have one more thing here. This is just for fun. Where's my other image? Oh, where I store my patterns. So I have these little, like, these are from the dollar store, the little bins. And obviously this is not very space efficient, but I kind of am okay with space. So I have mine in little bins and I can just take the bin and look through them. I have far more patterns than I need, obviously. So that's just another thing. And you can see underneath it, I've got more bins of like fabric and other stuff like that because I'm crazy.
And if you, I know that like with paper fabric, like the paper patterns and stuff, they tend to fall apart. So another good way to do it is, you know those binders that have like the hard case portfolio slides for pictures? You can put them in there to keep them more safe, and then you just have one binder full of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good way to do it too. You just get those, yeah. Or files, like people, I've seen people use the filing cabinets. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good way to do it too.
Or you can use one of these cube organizers, and they actually have filing cabinet inserts.
There you go. Actually, those things, I mean, especially at IKEA, you can do all sorts of different things with those cubes.
I got this one off Amazon for like $25, I think, or something. It wasn't even that bad.
I will warn, the ones at IKEA and the ones that are sold at Amazon are different sizes.
Yes.
I found this out the hard way, so be a little bit careful, but for the most part, they're kind of like one size or the other. So it's
these are smaller. IKEA's are larger.
Yeah, the IKEA ones.
To be fair, IKEA is kind of its own size, right? Because that's the same with their mattresses and stuff. They're kind of.
I have the IKEA ones myself.
Yeah. So everything else is pretty much standard, like Target, Walmart, Amazon. Those are all pretty much the same size.
Yeah. So we're gonna ask the question one more time. If you have any questions,
I have one.
Well, hang on a second. I'm gonna ask the people out there. If you have any questions, post them in the chat on Facebook or on the YouTube stream. And we'll get to it probably in like a minute or two.
Yeah, Sean's posted one, and we actually touched on it, so we can review.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Sean said, hello, Sean, by the way. He said wigs. So we can go back to start with Liz, if you want to share how you store your wigs.
So wigs that are really simple and like not very heavily styled, I'll put them back in the bag with the, the little tissue paper, the net over it. And then I have those organized by color just in drawers. But wigs that are really heavily styled, I actually have a wig wall. Whoops, sorry, phone is not very stable. Where they just sit on the head on the wig wall, so that I don't have to keep restyling it,
Do you not cover them? Do they not get dusty?
No, I haven't really had that problem with them, but you can cover them for sure.
Okay. And then, of course, I've seen people make like wig trees, which are really cool. I mean, those are probably not necessary if you don't have a bunch of styled wigs, but they look really cool. And
well,
you can make those.
You can use jewelry trees that are like bigger and hang wigs on them.
Yeah, or like actually, a coat rack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those standing coat racks.
Like if you want them to be like aired out or whatever, yeah. And then they also sell the like wig hangers that you can hang in the closet as well. So, but yeah, definitely, if you don't have the space, then put them back in the container it came in and definitely put the net on. I would advise to always brush them before you store them, because the next time you go to wear it and you take it out, you're like, oh, crap. And you're going to spend a couple hours brushing it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Braiding them or like twisting them and like tying them up so that like tucking. I like to tuck my wigs inside their actual cap and then cover them because it kind of keeps them in one little safe space.
Yeah. I have a really long Sailor Mars wig, and I put some like two hair bands around it, and then I kind of roll it up. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yay!
Any other questions, guys? Obviously, I actually have way too many wigs. So this one, I actually never even wore this one, so I was like, I want to put something different on.
I have like maybe a couple extra wigs, but most of my wigs match. I only have enough wigs that match my costume, and I use 3 wigs for 4 different costumes over and over and over again. So like I'm so happy I don't have very many wigs.
You mean you don't have a ton of wigs that you don't need?
No.
How is that possible?
Again, too, I'm one of those weird people. I only buy as much as I need for stuff.
Yeah, I'm a hoarder.
For sure.
Yeah.
I always get more than I need fabric wise, because like with fabric, I feel like if you get it at a place like SAS or say Fashion District, you don't know if it's going to be there next time. Let's say you make a big mistake, like it might be gone, and that was like the only one. You might never find it again. But just even with fabrics that are replaceable, different dye lots can come out, different colors and stuff like that. So I always get an extra yard or 2. And then I always end up using it later for something else. So that's kind of nice. It's almost like investing in future cosplays. I'm like, oh yeah, I still have 2 yards of that left. I can use
it. Oh, how spare fabric has saved me for sure.
Oh yes.
We have another question. It's not really cosplay organization related, but that's okay. I can't. Nah.
Eh?
Carnage
Nah.
is taking over. So the question is, which is your most comfortable and uncomfortable cosplay? So who wants to start? Because that will also, we could also kind of bring in like storage based on what's comfortable and uncomfortable as well.
Lena. Liz.
Okay. So first thing that comes to mind, I would say one of my most comfortable cosplays would be Rey. I just did a Rise of Skywalker version of Rey, and it's just like comfy little stretchy pants and like boots and like a little t-shirt, and I use my own hair for it, so there's no like futzing around with a wig. Most uncomfortable, I can only think of like all of them. No, I would say Sarah from Labyrinth.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's so big. The whole thing weighs like 50 pounds. The hair is like 20 of those pounds. Like the whole thing is just heavy, and like it has so many layers of lace and tulle. It's like itchy, it's hot. Like I'm really proud of it and I've enjoyed wearing it, but like the last time I wore it, I was like, no, we're done. Like this is it. This is retired.
How much does it weigh?
The whole thing all together weighs about 50 pounds.
Holy smokes. That's like a 5th grader. Wait.
It's heavy.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, and a lot of that weight is just like on the waistline too.
Because that
So,
skirt
like,
is huge.
when I take it off, like my back hurts so bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
can imagine.
So those are my two. Someone
Lena,
else
your
go.
turn. You're next in the little thingy that I see here. I could be
Oh,
wrong.
yeah.
It lays out differently for everyone, but Lena's next. The shark has spoken.
Depends on where you're watching. if
Probably
it's
the most
different.
comfortable one is likely cheating a little bit, which is like my gender bend Star-Lord, which is also one of my favorite cosplays. And I think one of the reasons it is so comfortable is because I do it without a wig or without anything on my head, which I feel like kind of makes it almost not cosplaying in some ways. But I have so much fun with it that it feels in other ways like the most cosplay-y thing that I have, because I always walk around with a speaker and play the soundtrack from the movie and like have people dance with me and like just really get into it, and people geek out. So it's like this really weird mix of like my least cosplay and my most cosplay because I actually like being the character somewhat. But yeah, because I have nothing on my head at all. It's just my head, and the rest of it is like a shirt and pants and like. Sorry if this is offensive to anybody, but it's boy clothes, so of course it's more comfortable. Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't it be? Anyway, my least comfortable, I think, again, I get into my head a lot, not as far as like getting in my brain, but like actually things that pinch my head get me the most, because I have a little bit of neck problems from time to time. So if something's really heavy on my head or pinching on my head, it can sometimes give me headaches. So I would say maybe doing our Twi'leks is probably, even though we do it a lot, like I'm always happy that I did it, but you have to face paint. And even though I have like body covering most of it, like doing all the face paint that Sam always does for me, by the way, that's where she is to me. I'm probably not pointing the right way for anybody else, but you know, even with Sam doing all my face paint for me and, you know, just getting into a costume for the rest of me, having to do the whole face paint and then having all my hair in the leku and it's like pinched onto my head and all this kind of stuff, and then at the band to hold it on and all that kind of stuff, that is really obnoxious.
Well, and the paint too, like it takes so long to put on, and then you have to like dust it and powder it, and then you have to be cautious the whole day of what are you eating, what are you touching, what are you near.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do a little bit
after.
I'm gonna do a little bit of screen share here, guys.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. Though that is tied also with another one that pinches my head. So good luck finding this, because I only wore it a handful of times and it sort of breaks my heart. I made Yokai, which is the bad guy from Big Hero 6, because I freaking love Big Hero 6. And in order to make the mask with the goggle, like with the gold in the eyes, I used a pair of goggles, not thinking about how much swim goggles fog up and how tight they are on your head. So in order to keep it up, I have like a pair of swim goggles that I like cut some slits into to try to vent it, but it still gets completely fogged up and it completely pinches my head. And that's why I almost never wear that costume anymore, even though I really enjoyed making it and wearing it the few times that I wore it.
We're just gonna
Nice.
get you a little wig and we're gonna magnetize it to your head. And then you don't have to worry about
Magnetize it.
Right. Sam, how about you?
So my most comfortable is honestly the second costume I ever made. It's so old. I am surprised at how well it is held up because it was not sewn very well. I have gone in and tailored it and fixed the seams, but it's Yen from Darker Than Black. It's my purple dress with like this black bolero and gray hair. It's
Anne looks
absolutely
really good in gray hair, by the way. I'm gonna try and find it. I'm just like, she looks good in every color, but gray.
Thank you. I love Yen. She's super comfortable. It's just a dress, and I can wear a backpack, and I just walk around with like this circle skirt dress, and I'm happy.
Oh, I found it. Here we go. So she looks really good with the gray hair. Any color, really. Let's see. Where is it? There it is.
But yeah, that Yen's my favorite. Like for like how comfortable it is. As far as what's uncomfortable, I'm torn. As much as I love wearing Yojimbo, it is like 15, 20 pounds of just fabric and armor, and there's a sword, and the wig is 2.5, 3 pounds, I think. It's a lot of weight, and it's all over my body instead of just being in one area that I have to like, okay, I'll just have to be a little sore there. No, my whole body's sore afterwards.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy too, isn't it?
Yeah, I had to put it on. That costume's so heavy that I had to get a custom wooden hanger because it broke all the other ones.
Wow.
So
That is
it has metal built into the wooden
insane.
hanger so it doesn't break the hanger. And I have to like put it in a special part in the closet so that it doesn't bend it's heavy. And then it's also like Maya the Siren from Borderlands 3. Just because the bodysuit that I purchased and altered was actually sized incorrectly, so I am much taller than it is, so it gives me the mother load of wedgies.
So there's Maya.
Yeah, it looks great, but oh my gosh, that bodysuit tortures me.
And then this is her Yojimbo, if you guys are not familiar with it. It looks amazing. In
It's just
person,
so
it looks
heavy.
amazing.
And I have to wear
Yeah.
a boob plate too, and the boob plate's light, but like,
Boob plate.
I mean, the boob plate, when I hold it myself, doesn't feel bad. I put it on my scale, it's 2.5 pounds. I'm like, how? And then you think about it, like, you start adding everything up, and you're like, yeah. It just, it's not as heavy as Sarah, but,
You have to like have some like endurance to wear some of these.
yeah.
Actually, I have Liz's there as well. So there's her Sarah.
I mean,
You can
look at
see
that
how big
skirt.
that skirt is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's massive.
It has so many layers, and like all of the layers are gathered. So it like the skirt is like 20 yards of fabric just on the. So it's just a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. What about you,
Jessica-
Jess? Jess, what about you?
Me? Okay. So I think my most comfortable, which actually is not like the most physically comfortable, but I love wearing it, is Chun-Li. I get to use my own hair. It's not that hard to style because, when people say you use my own hair, it's like, well, if you have to style it, it can be a problem. And the outfit itself is like really free at the bottom. So obviously, if you guys know, I mean, I'll share, even though I'm sure everyone knows what Chun-Li looks like. So it's really easy to like run around and just like, sit and jump and all sorts of things. And everybody loves Chun-Li. So she's like my favorite.
Awesome.
And really comfortable. Like it's just easy to run around. And plus I'm wearing flats. I'm wearing sneakers.
Jess, you need to make me one, okay?
Yeah,
for sure.
for
Just
sure.
choose a color. I'll be your complimenting Chun-Li, okay? Because
Yeah.
I need to make one that doesn't have like the one I had was meant for like giant boobs. I'm tired of wearing those.
I think we should do like Chun-Li, but like Power Rangers, or we each.
Power
We
Rangers.
can all be a different color.
We could. Yeah. Because definitely we could do that. That would be a lot of fun. Ooh.
Okay, this has to happen now, and it has to happen on this stream, and then we're all gonna be like,
Well, so mine's done then. I don't need to do anything. And my most uncomfortable one is, and I talk about it all the time because I didn't even make most of this costume. It's Widowmaker from Overwatch. So I bought the bodysuit on Mike Costumes because I was like, no, I can't make that. So I'm going to share it here in case you don't know who she is. So the bodysuit, I purchased everything else I made. So it was the first time that I had made, a weapon. I worked with Warbler, and it's super uncomfortable. Number one, because you can see it's pretty skin tight. So it's, I'm always like sucking it in when I'm wearing it. Number two, it is so weird to get into. I have to get into it like through that hole in the front, and then I have to put my wig on. So it's a hairpiece, actually. It's a big ponytail. So there's no getting out of it. If I have to pee, I am screwed. So what do? I do not eat or drink while I'm wearing Widowmaker. It's the worst thing you could do to yourself. Don't ever do it, please. I'm not recommending it.
That's the one thing, like, I like wearing bodysuits because of how simple they are, but then I hate wearing bodysuits because, oh my gosh, I have to get completely undressed to pee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even get out of that thing until I'm like done getting out of it. So that's another thing. And then the body paint. I'm still not completely 100% comfortable with body paint. So it can still be a little bit difficult for me. And then lastly, the contact lenses. I have astigmatism. So there's no way I'm buying yellow astigmatism lenses for like $200. So those don't have prescription. So I walk around blind as a bat, like carrying my glasses with me in case I want to see something. Yeah, I love the costume. It doesn't even look, I don't think it looks that uncomfortable, but it is. It is super, super uncomfortable. So, but I still
that just shows your perseverance. Like, I think all of us have a certain, like, most cosplayers have a certain level of perseverance to be like, I want to be this character. Even if it's only for a couple hours, I want to be this character, I will be this character, and I'm getting naked afterwards.
Okay, I like that thought process. Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah.
Cosplayers, yeah, we are pretty dedicated. I don't think I would ever wear something like that again, because not eating or drinking is very bad for your body. But I had fun in it.
Do we have any other questions? Because it's 7:30, and we can always go a little bit longer, but initially we wanted to do this for an hour. It doesn't happen.
And I just want to mention, Liz, so do you think you would make a bigger dress than Sarah? Or do you think that's your max? Go bigger?
I have a bigger dress planned. It hasn't been started yet. I've been slowly gathering the materials.
Mm-hmm.
But I can almost guarantee you when it's done, it'll weigh more than Sarah does.
Wow.
But I know, which is like.
Do we need to get you like a scooter?
Yes. But no, I'm thinking I'll just ride a unicycle underneath.
No, you know what? Stand on a wheelchair. I'll push you. No one will know. We'll get one of those motorized ones. We'll just have a remote control. You'll be like our R2-D2.
Oh, you need to be on one of those hoverboards with just your feet.
You'll die.
I think the big difference though is that the wig situation will be a lot better than Sarah, because the wig for the dress that I am planning is much more manageable. I think like everybody kind of has their own little pet peeves as far as like comfort goes. Like I know some people are like no corsets, like no, I can't deal, while other people are like corsets are no big deal. My two are like wig uncomfortable or heavy wigs because I get migraines, so that definitely triggers those and I hate that. And the other one for me is uncomfortable shoes. Like if my feet are uncomfortable and I can't walk, I'm just like a cranky mess. So like those are like my two things.
Lena, what are my pet peeves? I don't even know. I think I just
Lena's the Sam keeper.
She does well because I'm really bad about just pushing through anything. I literally can go through just about anything.
Yeah, though I would say when you can't eat, even though you're really bad about not eating at cons, you're like the worst about not eating at cons. At the same time, when you can't eat, like even get a snack in, like by the end of the day, it's like, nope, game over.
Yeah, and I have to be able, that is one thing, I have to be able to drink too. If I can't drink water, it's no-go.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just want to say, some people said hi on Facebook. Hi, Shane. Hi, John Paul. Sean says, I can definitely attest to cranky Liz.
Oh, dear.
And then John Paul says, Sam, you've been super resilient as far back as I can remember. Oh.
Yeah. Anybody who's known me since like even elementary school, I'm freaking stubborn.
Yeah. But you know, you do some amazing stuff though, Sam. So
Thank you.
We can see it come through. We can see all that hard work.
I love you all, genuinely. But if I do something stupid, you better smack me.
Oh, smack Sam. I would just tap. Sam, stop, please.
You realize I don't think you can even hit me hard enough to like phase me. Just hit me, it's fine.
Hannah says, I tell you what, pregnant cosplays are my most uncomfy. I mean, I think just when you start uncomfortable, I don't think anything's gonna
You're
be
getting another creature in your body.
You're tapping to it.
I'm kind of excited too, because I'm like, we're planning within the next year. And I'm like, once I'm pregnant, I'm gonna I'll probably start now.
If
making
you
all
get
those
pregnant, I am doing a Kirk cosplay, and I want you to be the lady.
Oh.
I'm gonna be like, look, my recent claim. Like Kirk was here, and I'm Kirk. I'm like, I was there.
Yeah. So I mean, to cosplay while pregnant, I think is very, it's amazing. That's resilience, I think.
Oh, for sure. And Hannah has done like the cutest pregnant cosplays ever. She is literally pregnant cosplay goals.
Pregnant cosplay goals. Steve says, I can say it sucks when you don't have food in your system when you're in cosplay.
Oh, yeah.
And also hard at times when you have no way to eat and you got table duty with some groups.
Yeah,
so
see, I usually bring those little like amazing grass tabs which have a burst of vitamins and like I can't use energy drinks. I have horrible reactions to energy drinks. So what other people use to survive, I can't. So I use these vitamin tablets that have like B12 and like all the natural stuff in them, and I put them in water and I drink those. If for some reason I cannot drink those, I'm not wearing that costume.
For sure. We have another question here from Ashlyn. What are some of the coolest, craziest cosplays that you have all seen and still think about today?
Oh gosh, I've seen so
That's
many.
a good question.
I think the Hulkbuster armor. Because
Yeah.
I watched him get into it because I was in the group and I was watching him get dressed and I'm looking at all these pulleys and straps and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's so huge. It took 4 people to get him into it.
That's amazing. And he goes pretty slow. He's like, dude.
The fact that he can even walk, like you should feel how heavy one little tiny piece of his leg is.
Oh my gosh. It's like the size of Lena.
I am totally a sucker for things that I consider clever. Like the two that immediately popped in my mind as soon as that was like thrown out there is we said that Sam and I are, both IT people. Somebody cosplayed like super simple, like, they do the TV head. Somebody did the blue screen of death, blue screen of death across there. And they made themselves like a mace with like a mouse and like various other computer parts, like as a flail, and like had like a belt with. And it was the Grim Reaper blue overall.
Screen.
Yeah. It was pretty simple overall, but like I almost lost it. Like I was ready to chase that guy down. I'm like, I've been doing cons for years. I have to get your picture. I cannot leave. And the other one that really sticks in my head is there was a couple that did a really great Jon Snow and Ygritte, but they gender bent it. But so the girl was Jon Snow. And what she did, I don't know what kind of implement she used, but she Sharpied or something, like scribble up and down, up and down, up and down to make the beard, like the scruff that was on there. Like it was very obviously intentionally like, and it added this level of humor to this very serious costume that just was absolute gold.
Oh man, that's nice. What about you, Liz?
Well, I would say like anything that's like huge that you need like a team to get to, I'm like already impressed. But like one of the things like big huge groups where everyone's costume looks amazing, I feel like that's like the holy grail of cosplays. It's like, how did you get all of these talented people to do like matching costumes on time and all show up at the same time?
Lunar Lens, Sailor Miyu.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, and they're all like on the same level of quality as well. Like they're all way up there, and I mean, you could tell that like it looks like one person made them all, but they all did it themselves.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the holy grail right there. Is like how on earth and you guys are doing.
I agree. I love complete groups. I love cohesive, like really, I love those groups as well. I've been in cosplay like for so long. I don't know. I can't even tell you. There's been so many cosplays I've seen like throughout my life. Yeah. That's all I can say.
Jess loves everything.
I
She's
all
very
costumes.
upbeat.
I just love people that get in the costume that they love and they have fun. That's cool. That's crazy. I got a couple more comments here, and then I think we might have to wrap it up. So Shane says, make a PVC hoop skirt on wheels for huge dresses. Okay, that's a good idea. And then Steve says, I just did a new cosplay with the Batman universe. Cool. Yeah, Batman groups are. I think Batman like costumes like from the movie. I think those are pretty tough. If you make them yourself, like that's pretty intense. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, those are good questions, guys. If you guys want to see us again, we actually are doing this weekly, every Friday at 6:30 p.m. I don't know if we're going to change the time, but it'll be around the same time, 6:30 p.m. And we even bring guests on too. So you're always going to see us.
We have a guest.
Yeah. So what's the topic next week, Sam?
Next week is basically sewing tools. So it is our tools guide 101, tools of the trade. And our guest is going to be Royal Goldfish.
Cool. Yeah. Look at Lena's like, oh my God, Diana's gonna be coming on. Yeah, so guys, you can always follow us on Facebook. We're CosTalk Live on pretty much everything. Facebook, we do have a YouTube, but right now we're on ThermoCosplay's YouTube for now. Twitch, which we're gonna get started soon. Instagram, I think I even got a Twitter, a TikTok. So we're on everything, and eventually we will fill it up. And if you guys have any suggestions of what you want to see or us talk about, send us a message on any platform. We'd love to hear your guys' comments and ideas. And, that's what cosplay is a community.
And to wrap up this meeting, everyone obviously can just keep talking. I'm being a brat. But Chris commented his T60 armor, the best memory, right, is when he was on that escalator. And he almost died.
Yes,
I remember that. He was standing on it, and he had these little stilts for his shoes, and one got stuck, and by some miracle, he managed to make it out before the escalator ate him.
Oh my God, so, that's scary.
Power armor and escalators, no.
No, elevators, always elevators.
Use an elevator.
We definitely have to do a con safety episode.
Yeah.
Lena,
I've never gotten stuck in an escalator before. That's totally never happened.
Oh my God.
That was the scariest moment of my life at a convention. I thought Lena was gonna get depantsed in public. And I was scared that it would
thankfully, okay, so it was my skirt, and my skirt was like basically a pair of shorts.
Yeah.
So if I had to have, I could have, but it was Phoenix Comic-Con, so there's a million people around. So I'm just doing that thing of like, how much of this do I let the escalator eat before everybody gets to see my underwear?
We're like, help! And he ran over and pressed a button, and we're like, whew.
Yeah.
Now we know if you get stuck in an escalator, we know what button to push.
The big red one. All right.
Sometimes it's red.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Again, thank you so much for the support. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.